kids. It's Miss Theresa from Sunday School. How are you all? I hope you're doing well. I can't wait to see you again and see how much you've grown, because I'm sure you have. It's been a long time since we've seen each other. And even though we're home, doesn't it seem like we're super busy? Like really, really busy. And it's really easy to become distracted, isn't it? We're kind of busy little bees, but sometimes you can be distracted. Like maybe you're watching a little bee that I made and you're not really listening to me. But I'm going to tell you a story about a time when I got really distracted. So I have 4 brothers, and they have wives and they have kids, and I used to live with my mom, and we would host Thanksgiving dinner so that everybody could get together, because that's so fun when the big family gets together, you know. But I have a daughter, and so we would be in the kitchen all day just cooking for like 13 to 19 people. It was a lot. And so we had all our recipes this one year all lined up, and one of my chores was to get the apple pie in the oven. So I got out all the canisters and the ingredients and the apples, and I cut them all up, and I put the cinnamon on them, and I put that pie in the oven, and I baked it. And then we ate dinner, and that pie was just so pretty to look at. And then we cut the pie, and then we served the pie, and everybody took a bite, and everybody made a funny face. It was kind of a yucky face, because the pie, what I thought had been the sugar container, was the salt container. It had a big canister of salt. So we had a very salty pie, and nobody could eat it. And you know what? I could have gotten very hurt and very upset, left the table, but I didn't. You know what? We all just looked at each other and we just started laughing. And now it's just a funny story in our family about the salty pie from Thanksgiving. So you could see how I got distracted. Somebody was talking to me and I didn't taste it before I put it in the oven, and so there it was, a salty apple pie. And you know what this makes me think of? There's a story in the Bible about somebody who gets distracted. She's like a busy, busy, busy bee, and she's a little distracted because she's all about the busyness. And I'm gonna read that story to you. You know, it's in the book of Luke, which is where? It's in the New Testament, and it's the 3rd book, Matthew, Mark, Luke. So I'm gonna read to you Luke 10, 38 through 42, and then we're gonna think about maybe a new name for this bee. And I'm going to show you how to make it, because it's pretty easy. Maybe your mom can help you, or maybe you can just make some bumblebees to put around the house. And we'll see what they could say, what message they could remind us of. Okay, so here's the Bible story. Jesus and his disciples walked down the road and over the hills until they came to a town called Bethany. Jesus had friends in Bethany, 2 sisters named Mary and Martha. Whenever Jesus was in town, he would go to their home for a visit. Mary and Martha welcomed Jesus and his disciples when they arrived. They were happy Jesus had come. Martha was the older sister, and she felt it was important to fix a meal for everyone. So Martha got busy cooking the meal. She wanted everything just right for her guest. Mary was not interested at all in cooking or preparing a meal. She just wanted to sit on the floor next to Jesus and listen to him teach. Martha was working very hard and wondering how she was going to get the meal together by herself. Mary was not thinking about her sister working so hard. She was listening to Jesus. She did not want to miss anything he said. Martha began to get upset. She spoke to Jesus and said, "Jesus, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work alone? Tell her to help me." Jesus knew how hard Martha was working and that she was trying to be helpful. He also knew that what Mary was doing was important too. Jesus kindly told Martha, "You're worried and upset about this meal. What I have to say is very important, and Mary has chosen to listen. Right now, listening to me is most important." So you see, he was inviting her to come and listen, to stop being so busy, and to accept him, and to be humble and just listen, and not care so much about the most perfect meal. So this is my little bumblebee, and I think I'm going to name him Humblebee. And I'm going to put him right by my computer so that while I'm working during the day, I can look up and say, I just need to be with God and everything's going to be okay. And then I might take him to bed so that he's on my nightstand and I can say my night prayer, and I'll see him in the morning and I can say my morning prayer. And I've got my little humblebee. So I'm going to show you. It's really easy to make. You just need one. I took one piece of paper out of my sketch pad, and it looks like this. And can you see I have 3 ovals that I cut out? 1 big oval, 2 small ovals, and then a round one for the face. And then I took some magazines. I know nobody has magazines anymore, but I have a few around the house. I have some National Geographics, Zoo News, a food magazine, and I was looking just for the colors of a bee, and I found them. I found some photos that had some yellow and some black, and so I made little stripes, and I just used my glue stick, my trusty glue stick, and I cut them on the shape. And then the 2 smaller ovals are the wings, and you know what I used, because I love glitter? I used some Christmas wrapping ribbon, and I cut them out and I glued them on there. And the little antennae, you know what? I didn't have any pipe cleaners, and so I looked around in my kitchen and I found twisty ties, and they were white. So I just used my little marquee pen. That's why you saw those black marks on this piece of paper, because I was putting it on the paper so I wouldn't get the marker anywhere else, but I painted my antenna. So here's my little humblebee. I hope you can make one. Right now I put him on a Christmas straw. I couldn't find anything to hold him up, so I put him on a Christmas straw. But I think it would be really good if you had a popsicle. You could eat a popsicle and clean the stick and put this on a popsicle stick, and that'd be great. So that's the lesson for today, to remember to be with God. So would you like to say a prayer with me? Can you fold your hands and bow your head, and let's share a prayer together. Dear God, thank you for your endless love, even when we are distracted and seem to love other things more than you. Help us to put you first. Amen. Thanks, kids. I hope to see you soon.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news. Good news.
Of great joy.
Of great joy. With great joy.
Of great joy.
For all people. All people.
For all people.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Now let's get to work.